Hi everyone, welcome to practice problem ADJ-01. This one's going to be all about adjusting entries and the adjusted trial balance. Here I present you with two pieces of information along with a trial balance for the quarter ended December 31st. Your goal is to record the adjusting journal entries that are required based on this information and then to update the trial balance to make an adjusted trial balance following those journal entries. So take a moment, try it out on your own. When you're ready, come on back and I will walk through the solution. All right, welcome back. So I'm going to start off with the journal entries. And for that, I'm going to clear out some space here, move the trial balance aside. The first piece of information tells us the equipment purchased on November 1st depreciates at a rate of $10,000 per year. All right, anything that is depreciable loses value either over time or over use. Here it's basically telling us over time, $10,000 per year. And so we know that we're going to have to record some depreciation. We just have to figure out, well, how much? So we've got $10,000 per year, just a rough off the cuff calculation I'm going to do down here. It says that we bought the equipment on November 1st. And remember, these are the quarterly adjusting journal entries at December 31. Now, quarterly typically means you're going to do something for 3 months. But in this case, since we bought the equipment on November 1st, only 2 months have gone by since we first purchased it. And therefore, it's only going to depreciate for 2 months. So we've got 10,000 times partial year, 2 out of 12 months. Remember, 10,000 was a yearly number. Get my calculator out. And 10,000 times 2 over 12 gives us 16. I'm going to round this to 1667 for simplicity. 1667. This is 2 months of depreciation. We need to record our adjusting journal entry. Adjusting journal entries are posted to the last day of the period. This is a cost incurred, the value lost from our fixed assets. And that cost incurred is given a specific name, depreciation expense, right? Cost incurred, expense, for 1667. That's our debit. Now, the credit here is a special case. You would think that the credit would simply be equipment because the equipment is losing value, right? That's kind of the default. But that's not how depreciation works, because if we credit equipment, then we are going to reduce the value of equipment on the balance sheet, and therefore it will no longer be displayed at its historical cost, which it's required to be. Instead, what we do is we record a contra asset called accumulated depreciation dash equipment. We've got to go ahead and label it. It goes with the equipment. For 1667. This will show up on our balance sheet, but it'll show up right below the equipment as a subtraction from the equipment, showing you, hey, here was the original cost. Now, here is the value that has been lost so far. So that's number one. Number two, also going to be posted at 12/31. It says rent costs $3,000 per month, and it isn't recorded until period end. Now, when you think about rent, you think, okay, well, that's cost incurred. So that's going to be a rent expense. How much? Well, it tells us it's $3,000 per month, and you never record it until period end. So this period is a whole quarter. So we've got 3 months worth. So we've got $3,000 times 3 gives us $9,000. That's our quarterly rent. So our rent expense is going to be for $9,000. We're obviously going to have a matching credit. The question is, what is that credit? Some students might have a tendency here to put cash. Well, we paid for the rent, so credit cash. However, if we were doing that, we would have recorded the rent when the cash got paid. So there's got to be some reason we're waiting until period end to do it. And for that, we're going to look back at our trial balance. Notice on our trial balance, we have an asset called prepaid rent. In other words, we did pay cash for this rent, but we did it in advance. The cash has already changed hands. We have an asset called prepaid rent that now gets used up as we incur the cost of rent. And so the credit here simply is prepaid rent. To lower the value of that asset, almost put prepaid expense, prepaid rent, to lower the value of that asset by the amount of it that has been used up. Notice in both of these situations, there is one income statement account and there is one balance sheet account in each journal entry, which is typically the case with an adjusting entry. All right, our next step, we have to adjust the trial balance for these adjusting journal entries. So on the right here, I have the trial balance we originally presented in the given information of the slide, of the problem. And then on the left here, I've gone ahead and entered kind of a template for the adjusted trial balance. Now, what do I have in here that we're not going to talk about? Well, I have in here every account that didn't change from the original trial balance. So we didn't do anything to cash as a result of our adjusting journal entries. We didn't do anything to inventory. We didn't do anything to unearned revenue or to sales revenue or to cost of goods sold, right? If something wasn't impacted by the adjusting journal entries, it doesn't change from the trial balance to the adjusted trial balance. So I've gone ahead and populated all the ones that didn't change already. But we do have to go ahead and update anything that did change or is now new. First up in this list, if you notice, I left a blank below equipment because we now have the accumulated depreciation on the equipment for $1,667, and that is a credit because that actually reduces the value of the assets, okay? So it's not a debit like a normal asset, it's a credit because it's a contra asset. It reduces the assets. Next up, you'll notice that I left prepaid rent blank because if you recall, we lowered our prepaid rent. It was $48,000. We lowered it by $9,000, so that means it is down to $39,000. And last up, I have two blanks at the bottom. If you recall, the order of your balance sheet, the order of your trial balance typically goes A, then L, then SE, then revenue, then expense. Well, we recorded two new expenses as part of our adjusting journal entries. We recorded some depreciation expense, and we recorded some rent expense. As expenses, these were debits. The rent expense was $9,000. The depreciation expense was $1,667. We have now updated all of the accounts on our trial balance. So we have now prepared our adjusted trial balance based on the adjusting journal entries. One last step, we've got to tally up debits and credits again to make sure that they are still equal to one another after we've made our adjustments. So I'm going to get my calculator out real quick. And we're going to add up that debit column. 89,500 plus 220,000 plus 50,000 plus 39 plus 160 plus 1667 and finally that 9,000 puts our debit column with a new balance of 569,167. Notice this is a different balance than it was before, and that's okay. That's expected to happen. What's important is that it matches the credit balance. So get my calculator out again. 1667 plus 155 plus 10 plus 27,500 plus 150 plus 10 plus 200 plus 15. 569,167. Credits and debits match, and we are good to go. All right, that's it for this practice problem. I hope you join me for another.